Okay, so your cat's doing something that you don't want it to do. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to modify cat behavior. The first step is to figure out why your cat is doing this. There are a few possible reasons that I have noticed. The first one is curiosity. The cat's in a new area, a new territory, it just wants to check it out. This is usually the first time that they go do something. The second reason is attention. This would be the following times. They're doing this because they got attention for this in the past. The third reason is nature. This can be things like scratching furniture, digging up plants, or jumping onto places so that they can have a better vantage of their territory. The fourth reason is that they're feeling threatened. Something in their territory or their routine has changed, maybe like a new baby or you've moved to a new house. I hear about this most commonly representing itself as litter box issues. This is not something I have had experience with Mar-Vell. I do want to note that it's not going to be revenge or the cat getting back at you. From my understanding, cats don't really think this way. We are going to be using keeping Mar-Vell off the kitchen counters as the example for a behavior that we wanted to modify. A note about the example, it took us a lot of trial and error, so you might not be able to figure out why your cat is doing something on the first try. With the counters, we thought that Mar-Vell is being curious. There are a lot of smells and sounds coming from the kitchen, and she wants to be able to see them. She can't really see from ground level, so she jumps onto the counter to get a closer look. She also really likes the sound of running water. When we're brushing our teeth, she'll jump onto the bathroom counters and stare at the water. She doesn't understand that the kitchen counters are any different from the bathroom counters or from her own cat trees. That is something that needs to be taught. Step 2 is what do you want them to do instead, and what exactly are you trying to stop? They still need to meet whatever need we identified in step 1. This might mean you need to buy things that help them fulfill that need without doing the exact behavior that you wanted them to stop. One example of an undesirable behavior is that Mar-Vell likes to play in the litter box at night. She also likes to scratch her tree that's in the bedroom, and that always wakes me up. But the cat tree is hers, and the litter box is also hers. That's something she does during the day, and I don't care. So it would be unfair to try and train her to not do it at night and only do it during the day. We can't try and change what makes a cat a cat. We can only give them a different outlet to try and redirect that behavior. So for this example, we don't want Mar-Vell to jump on the kitchen counter. The reason she's doing it is because she wants to get a closer view, so we want to put something else in that location that allows her to get that same view. We can also take the smells to her. So while we're chopping vegetables, we can take a little piece to her and let her sniff it. We can also pick her up and bring her closer to the food. I first put some stools in the kitchen so that she could sit on those to see if it would even work. I tried to find something that was counter height, but I wasn't able to, so eventually we got a cat tree that was a few inches below counter height, but I hoped it would work well for Mar-Vell. This is not the first thing we did. We tried putting lemon on the counters, we tried putting aluminum foil where we sprayed oil on top, and all that didn't work. And in the beginning, we'd come up to her when she was on the counter saying like, "Oh my God, Mar-Vell, what are you doing?" And it turned into something she could do to get our attention. The third step is to figure out how you're going to reward and discourage the behaviors. You have to figure out what your cat likes and dislikes. Mar-Vell loves treats, obviously, and she also likes head scratches. I say good girl during clicker training whenever I give her a treat, so I use that again in this situation as a reward. I don't know if it really works, but it can't hurt. A little operant conditioning lesson for you all. If you've watched any other videos about training pets, you've probably seen this in all those videos. We have positive, negative, punishment, and reinforcement. So the positive and negative refers to if you're adding something or taking something away. The reinforcement and punishment refer to the behavior if you're trying to make it happen more often or less often. So for positive reinforcement, we are adding something to make the behavior happen more often. In this example, the behavior we want to have more often is her on the cat tree. While she's on the cat tree, we'll give her treats, we'll give her head scratches, we'll say good girl. For positive punishment, we're going to add something to make a behavior happen less often. So in this example, when she's on the counter, we'll gently take her off the counter and put her on the ground. You want to be careful with the punishment because you don't want it associated with you. You want to create as little drama around it as possible. So we take her off the counter and just nothing else happens. It might just be like we're picking her up at any other time. It shouldn't feel like a punishment. You don't want the punishment itself to become a reward by turning it into a game or turning it into a way that the cat receives attention. Negative reinforcement would be if you take something away to make a behavior happen more often. We don't really have an example for that one. Negative punishment would be taking something away to make something happen less often. We take away the attention we're giving Mar-Vell after we put her on the ground. When she meows, I don't give her a response. We don't do this anymore more. We give her attention when she's on the floor and when she's on the cat tree. In the beginning, I did this so that she knows going on the counter means her attention from me goes away. Step 4 is do this for a long time. I think it took us a couple months. It happened gradually. We'd noticed that she was going on the counters less and less. It took a little longer because we had already started with a pattern of behavior and response that wasn't healthy, so we had to first distinguish that before moving on to this new method. Now it's been months since she's gone on the counter. As you saw in the security cam footage, she does go up once in a while when we're not around. You might notice that when the cat stops doing this behavior, they might find a different behavior to try and get your attention. You might have to consider that you're just not giving your cat enough attention. Are you playing with them enough? One way to just keep them engaged and entertained is through playtime and clicker training and just giving them head scratches. Just remember that by nature, a cat has some needs, and we want to try and fulfill those needs in a way that doesn't disrupt our own lives. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or need more examples. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and let us know what else you'd like to learn about Mar-Vell.